All right, good morning and happy Friday. It's been a while. It is a cold, wet, dreary day here in Mississippi. Um, and I have a cold, so I'll try not to be too gross. Seems like I had a cold like the last video. It's been that long. Um, okay, so I thought I'd try to wrap up the in depth look at advanced custom fields along with generate blocks. And I'm not going to do all of them. I've done most of them, but we're gonna hit some weird ones like the range field and maybe the color picker. I'm not gonna do no. We've done the repeater. What is it? Not the repeater. I mean, there are things like the accordion, the clone, the tab. There are things for interface and reusing fields. Flexible content. That is a big one that I've tried to figure out. I need to go back and revisit that. That is. I don't know if it's now that we have blocks. I don't know if that's I'd have to think of some good use case scenarios for that. I wonder if it'll stick around. Are any of you guys using the flexible content? Do you know what I'm talking about? So it's this where you can essentially create blocks and then reorder them, um, move them around, I guess. Um, so yeah, hopefully this won't be a super long video because I have lots of work to do. Not that I don't love doing these, but yeah. So I'll just jump in. So here's our ghost gear custom post type. I'm looking at the ghost trap from Ghostbusters. And we have lots of different things happening here, um, and including this little, excuse me, short code that spits out the values that the custom field is giving us that we can do something with, and how that plays into how the dynamic tags work in GenerateBlocks. So here is our field group for our ghost gear. So let's add, I don't know what I'm going to call it. Let's look at this. Let's browse the fields and let's see. What do we look at? Is it advanced? Oh, the color picker and the icon picker. I kind of want to look at those. Maybe not the date and time. I mean, I think those just return the date and time in a way that we can do something with it. We may look at that. Relational choice. Button group. That's one I don't use much that I should. Content. Basic. Range. There it is. Okay. What is pro? Gallery flexible content. Okay. Okay. So range is basic. Okay. I guess that is a new HTML kind of thing. So let's select the range because I have used that before and I'll kind of show you the way I've been using it. Field label. What do we want to call it? Let's see. What can we do with it? So the way I've used it is sizing images in like if I build a logo grid for a client, um, that's always challenging because logos are all different sizes. So I try to give them a little flexibility in like, if it's a really horizontal logo, you might allow it to be the full width. But if it's kind of a squarish or roundish logo that has more mass than something really horizontal or really linear, you might want to decrease the size. So you can do that with a slider. So yeah, we'll do that. That's how I'll use it. So yeah, you need to do the default. So what I may not be remembering exactly. So minimum, maybe I do it percentage. I can't remember. Presentation. Step size 1, that's kind of handy. So you can do it multiples of 10. Okay. Oh, not add. I do that all the time because I feel like that's where the save button ought to be. So let's save that. I'm not sure exactly how we're going to output that, but we're going to figure it out. And oh my goodness, it's taking so long. Okay, so let's jump back over to elements, and we're going to go to our layout. Single template. And all of the details about this are in the playlist in a much earlier video, so that's why I'm not hitting the details about exactly what we're doing. I'm sorry about that. Okay, something has happened and local has gotten really, really slow again. Okay, so first let's go down to our handy dandy shortcode. G image size, I think is what I did. Let's save that and let's just see. Oh, we need to actually have some data, or what does it do? Yeah, nothing. Okay, so let's go to our ghost gear, our ghost trap. Go all the way down. Yeah, so image size, and you can see here it goes to 50. So let's set it to 80. And maybe we can, excuse me. Okay, so it just returns that number. Okay, so here's something you can do with that. So let's say the featured image, let's just say that we want to be able to control how wide it is. I don't know why, but I'm going to show you the way I've been doing it. So let's go back to elements for our template. Ghost gear single. And again, the main way I've been using it is in like logo grids, where like you really want to be able to fine tune the visual appearance of all the logos. Okay, so let's go down here. Style, width, and now, now I can't remember. Okay, let me. What is it? Post meta key GG image size, and then we'll do percent. Did I get that right? I have no idea. I always have to look back at the documentation because yeah, and I'm looking at the documentation. Okay, that saved. Let's. Oh, it worked. Okay, so now we can look under the hood. So let me open this up a little bit. Sizes, style. Where's the style attribute? Style. Oh, there it is. Okay, right here. Style width 80%. So that is outputting that slider width or the range. So I did get that right. Post meta. Sorry, I'm looking at the documentation. Look at me getting it right on the first try. Proud of me. Yeah, so we've given it a style attribute, so we're going to feed it its own, some custom styling. And if we go make adjustments to that now, so go back to Ghost Gear, go back to Ghost Trap, and we go all the way down, and we'll make it 65, 60, 63. Let's make it something weird. I say weird, not even or multiple 5 or 10, whatever. Refresh and boom, now it is 63. All right, so cool. So yeah, that's one use of it. And let me know, are you guys using that for anything? Are there some other uses you can imagine? Um, I don't know. So there's that. And let's see, so ideally we'd call that like feature image size or gear image, I guess, because we want to know that's related to that. I guess in an ideal world, you'd have it placed over here with that. I don't know if you can do that. As far as UI is concerned, that's what I would want to do. Or ditch the featured image altogether and use a custom field image down here. But that is another video. So let's see, what else? What else? Let's go back to ACF. What other fields? What's the other one we wanted to do? The color picker. Color picker. Ghost gear data. Oh, I'm not doing a Google map either. That is that probably is a video all to itself, because there's a lot you can do with that. You do have to go through the trouble of setting up a developer account and getting your credentials or your API key, all that stuff. Let's see. Where does is it under basic too? Range URL, email. Is it choice? Advanced. Color picker and an icon picker. I've never used icon picker. I think I have used the color picker. Default value, hex string. Oh, so you can have it return different things. That's kind of neat. We're going to test that. So what, I wonder if we could have it change the color of that background. We'll do that. We'll call this gear theme color, because why not? GG. Just do that. GG theme color. Do we want a default value? What is this? There's our base 2. Oh crap. So you can't put in. Oh, that'd be nice to be able to enable transparency. Ooh. Okay. Well, what is that? We'll just grab that, because I don't think you can use a CSS custom property there, or variable. You have to use a hex value or the RGBA. Yep. What else? Validation. Nope. Show color wheel. Show custom. Internet commissary image. Huh. Allow access to value. I never. So a custom palette. I wish it could pick up on our. There's probably a way to do that. What if I don't want to show the color wheel? Let's see what that does. Okay, so let's just save that. And I'm going to open this in a new tab so I don't have to keep jumping back and forth. Or I can jump back and forth more easily. So let's see. Go down here. What does that look like? Okay, so you get these defaults. Or I can put in. So if I do the color wheel, I like that I can put in, my own palette. I guess I could do it this way real quick. Comma separated. Hex or RGB. Yeah, I bet if I try to put a custom property in there, it will bail on me. Sorry to make you wait or watch me do this. There, and that's all we'll do. Okay, save. Refresh. Let's see what we get. Ooh. Oh. So it gets rid of the very interesting. So let's try that. Oh, and we have to now, let's open yet another tab to our elements. And what is this called? GG theme color. Okay. Let's see what it gives us, which I'm guessing is just going to be that hex color. Okay. Yeah, okay. So we get the hex color value, which is what I expected. Yep. So if I change, okay, to return RGB array, does this happen immediately? It does. Okay, so you could do some crazy stuff with that, I guess. Because I'm guessing you could tap into like, man, you totally could. That is really interesting. Okay. So we could do the same thing with this and we could like tap into that style. Let's see. Like this, say, let's say this, for example. Am I in the background color? So if I do an inline style, I can't do it here, can I? Can I put in a dynamic tag here? No. Surely not. Okay. No. Okay. So what did it? Let's see what it did. Because that is writing that to an external style sheet. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So that's not parsing or it's not processing that. Okay. That is fine. Let's go back to that. But we can do like we did with the other. So we say style, background, color, post, meta, key, GG, theme, color. Okay, and save. All right. It said no, thank you. Oh, because I haven't saved a color, so there is no color. Whoa. Okay. So what do we need? What is the? Hang on. The required to render. That's the. What is that? Okay. Inline background image. Wait, am I still on the right selector? Loop item. Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to use this to build it real quick. GG theme color link to none, not required to render, required false. Okay, so that is what we need. Okay, so I'm gonna I'm gonna just back out of there. Okay, let's paste that in there. Save. Yeah, because if that required is in there, then if it doesn't detect value, it's gonna not output any of it. There we go. So now I think it's using. Oh, look at there. Okay, so no background color is present. Okay, so now we have that. I'm going to save that because I've been picking, but I had not been saving. Oh, we did those choices. That's good. So now theme color that element style should override. Whoa, we got a problem. So what happened? Required false GG theme color. Huh. So I see the style, I see background color, but it's not outputting a value. So what? Oh, because we're telling it to return an array. Oh, you big dumb boy. Okay. Um, that would be super convoluted to do right now, so I'm not going to do that. And I'll have to think on that because there are some fun, creative things we could do with that. I'm sure there's got to be. So let's have that output our hex string again. And I keep wanting to add a field. I swear that's where the save button ought to be, but I know. Yeah, I know. I know. Okay, now we're back to returning that. Yeah, now it's got that funky purplish color, but it's outputting correctly. So yeah, that's one way we could do that. Okay. That's kind of sort of fun. We'll go back to the really light color. And see what I guess what you'd want to do is set up some conditionals, which we can do now. I'm going to do a video on conditionals, the new built-in, because man, it's powerful. You can do some, yeah, it definitely opened it up where you can use a template. You don't have to necessarily go to custom PHP and shortcodes and things now. If you went to a really dark color, that it would change the internal, like the text, to a lighter color, ideally. And we have that control now. Yes, we do. So I may have to yet do another video on those arrays and things. I just can't think of anything off the top of my head that would make that useful. It's got to be though. Okay, what else? Is that it? I mean, we've kind of hit. Let me see. Look at the field group. We have text, WYSIWYG, repeater, embed, post object, button group, true false captain range. Yeah, we've done a button group. Okay. We did the color picker. We did the range. That's kind of all I wanted to do. I mean, you have things like email and number and URL, but those are just going to return those exact items. But it's more for forcing the formatting you want on the front end. I mean, date pickers, they return dates. I mean, we can look at that real quick. We'll look at the whole date time picker. We're not gonna get real fancy with that. Yeah, and then you can choose like what kind of formatting. So the display and the return. So the display is when you're editing the post. So maybe we'll do that. And then how do you want it to return? So we can you format dates with dynamic tags? Why is that ringing a bell? Current year post date. Yes, you can. So that is the, well, I say that is the post date. I guess you could do that with a custom field depending on what you want it to output. Yeah, so we'll just look at that real quick. So there are some more specifics we could go into. This formatting date and time can be booger in both PHP and JavaScript. Okay, so I need to refresh, take a look at our date and time. There you go. 3 p.m. So let's see. Update. And I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's going to give us exactly what we told it to. Excuse me. Can you have it return like a. So you can't have it do a custom, and that, you can reference the PHP's method of what all these mean, and you can really tweak it. So I guess that's what you would do. You wouldn't necessarily need GenerateBlocks to do it for you, although you might be able to. Let's see. Just for giggles. See, that's the short code. No, that's the short code. Let's add before. Whoops. Let's do text and not a date, but post meta. Because I don't. Well, okay, let's. Nope. So let's change that. Or let's date format. Okay, so that's what we need. Okay. So let's change this to post meta, GG, date, and time, link to none, date, format, and let's just do FJ. Let's see what that does. Because I don't know if you can apply that same parameter to a post meta. Oh, it's not outputting anything. Yeah, it may not. Did I get that right? Date format? It may not know what to do with it. Okay, that might require some further investigation. But in the meantime, you don't really. Yeah, it's an empty div. What? Oh, that's it right there. Yeah, okay. So yeah, in the meantime, you can just use this return format. I'll have to look into that to see if that can actually format dates for us and things. Because if you're pulling that from other sources, that might be handy. But this is advanced custom fields, so maybe not. Okay, so date time picker. icon picker. That okay, real quick, real quick, because I was curious about that. I've never used that. Pick an icon. GG icon picker. We can just say GG icon. Okay, and we can pull from any place, string or an array. Interesting. Save. Okay, let's change this. I'm going to get rid of that field. And can you set up your own? Okay, URL. What is the presentation? Oh, access. Okay, I was wondering if I could add my own. Add like my own source, but I want to see. This will be interesting. Time. Okay. Media library URL. Let's do a gear. Because I don't know what that returns. I'll be honest. Um, ah, interesting. Okay, so it's up to me. It's up to me to figure that out, I guess. And if I set it to an array, oh, I did it again. Remove. So sorry I didn't prepare more for this. Like this brings up some interesting things of what we might be able to do with these. It makes me want to explore a little bit more. Well, we can take a quick look here. How are they handling it? Because those are dash icons in the admin. Okay. So that. So I'm guessing we have to imitate some of this so we could pull from that. Okay, that requires a separate video, I think, to play with that some. But we're seeing how it's returned, and that is very interesting. So I guess we could mimic the styling built into WordPress. I guess that's exposed on the front end. I have no idea. We'd have to imitate that styling and make sure that font source is available. Now, if it gives us a, excuse me, so we use that for an icon. Assume it's going to give us a URL, type media, yep, and all the stuff for an image array. So that was a little bit interesting that I'd selected. Let's do that. Can I do that? Here, my mouse wheel turn. So now, what does it think that's an image now, or is that just a interface thing? Okay, it knows it's a dash icon. Okay, so interesting. And URL is the last. Where can I pull something like that? URL. This may not work at all, but we're gonna try. So that's the base 64 from Icon Monster. I mean, it's worth a try, right? Oh, it did it. I wonder if that would work. Okay, one more shot. That'd be post meta. Wait, yeah, because it is an image, but we want to pull GG icon. We're gonna need value. I think so. Wait a minute. What did that do? Icon value. I don't know. I don't know. Just curious. Nope, nothing. Okay. Did it output anything? And this just may be my ignorance on using. Whoa. What? Oh. Huh. Okay. Well, we tried. So if I go down here to advanced, did it add a source? Yep. So it just didn't add anything. Hang on just a second. I'm going to pause. Okay, not to go on about that. So I tried a couple of different things, but there must be something in GenerateBlocks that forbids something like that from outputting as an image source, or who knows. I'll have to dig deeper into that. What does that give us? Google APIs. Oh, that's something I. Hmm, yeah, I don't know. Um. So, guys, I think that's it. I think that is where I will end this series. Sorry if that's a bit of a low note. I learned some interesting things. Maybe you did too. Maybe I'll do some more specialized stuff. I know I'm doing really, at least I think it is kind of niche um, methods, um, exploring things that might not be used that often, but there's always that project where you come across something and it's, you try your best to figure out how to solve it in the best possible way, like from a publishing standpoint, an ease of making it easy to manage for your client and for you. Um, Content like this, and sometimes these obscure things can really come in handy. So I might explore some more of these, especially the icons. I'm kind of curious about this, and maybe the icon picker is not the best way to do that. No idea. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Hope you enjoyed the series. I don't know what happened right there. It made that YouTube video go away. There it is. Yeah, don't know what happened there either. Um, yeah, we're right at 40 minutes, so I'll end it here. Guys, please like and subscribe. Man, that's another thing. We are almost at 500 subscribers. I mean, that's pretty cool. Never dreamed that this many people would be interested. That's not a lot in the grand YouTube scheme, but for little old me, it is. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, I'm glad you guys are enjoying. Please like, subscribe. I'll try to post something next week. December is going to be tough because I'm crazy busy, and then there's the holidays and family. But I hope you guys are having a good December. Hope all of you have family and friends, and you're excited about the holidays and all that good stuff. Wish you the best. Y'all take care and see you next week.